Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time visiting me. We are going to be doing a hot takes on upcoming tarot and oracle decks today. So we are going to be looking at mass market decks, indie decks, and Kickstarter and Indiegogo, so crowdfunded decks, in just a second. But first I have some housekeeping things. I am on a new filming setup and at a new angle, which has me very excited because I finally have a sort of station to film at. That is, I've had a station before, but this is I get to just sit down and record, which is amazing. So if it's set up properly, then the lighting will be good, the sound will be good, the quality of the camera will be good, and we'll be off to the races. I need to stop talking with my hands because I have the last of a peppermint mocha frappuccino sitting here that I'm about to knock over. So I'm gonna try not to do that. But I have my computer in front of me. I'm gonna be looking at all of the new releases with you today. We're gonna do the split screen business that we normally do. So we're gonna be getting into that in just a quick second here. But I would love your feedback on what this angle looks like. You can kind of see my TV back there. You can still see my wall of decks, but this is where I'm probably going to be a lot. So I hope you like it. Okay, with all of that said, let's get into the decks. Okay, we're going to be starting off by taking a look at Nellie's deck. So, spoiler alert, I totally pre-ordered this. This is the new deck by Kelly of The Truth and Story. As far as I know, Kelly's been working on this for at least a year. I want to say it's been 2 to 3 years. But it is basically a hybrid between, from what I understand, and I definitely will encourage you to go check out Kelly's videos to fully understand the system, but it is sort of like if you were to take playing card, cartomancy, divination, and then layer it with Lenormand and tarot. Just mush it all together. And then, because Kelly's amazing, add a whole story element. So there's this story, and she has not spoiled the story, but essentially the idea is that you're basically discovering this deck and Nellie's journal, and she's like a lighthouse keeper, and it's like a whole thing. I'm all in for whenever somebody blends, I mean, Kelly, truth in story, right? Story is her thing. But when you blend story and tarot or story and cards, I get very excited because I really find that story helps you to bond with a divination tool, no matter what that is. The deck I'm creating is very story driven. The story is the underpinning or the foundation for it. So this sort of thing is really attractive to me. And it looks like she's doing these on casino quality cardstock with black core and linen finish. You all know I'm about that. This is going to be the kind of thing that I feel like you can just use and use and use and use and use, just like a playing card deck. And I'm real freaking excited. I had to get in on this. I'll be honest, I'm super biased where anything Kelly does is concerned. She was a huge influence on me way before I ever started a channel myself. Kelly was one of the 2 people I watched on TarotTube that really taught me in Lenormand just by watching their videos. And I still remember those way old walkthroughs that Kelly used to do on the black cloth. I have memories, okay? And it's just a thing. So I'm really excited to just get this in my hands. This will be the first deck of Kelly's that I have purchased. I didn't get her story in color Lenormand. It was a little too abstract for me personally, and I didn't get her journey tokens because I was worried I wouldn't. It's such a comprehensive system. It's a casting system she created, and there's a card system too. But there's so much depth to that, not to say there isn't in this. But I felt like it was a whole new system. I was going to have to learn a whole new thing. Whereas with this, I already have the Lenormand. I already have the tarot. So then I'll be able to sort of layer that with the cartomantic bit and I'm just excited. I'm just excited. I feel like this is going to be a thing that I'll be able to wrap my head around without too big of a learning curve. And I can just sink into the story, and I'm really excited. Anyways, go to Kelly's site. I'll have links for everything I'm talking about down below, but if you want to check this out, she's got a couple of different of her own videos linked talking about this in depth. They are wonderful videos to watch. I think just hearing Kelly talk with her own enthusiasm about it is worth doing if you're even a little bit curious about this deck. But I'm personally incredibly excited about it. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. It's not a very hot take because I've already looked at it. I've watched the videos. I'm in it. This is a thing. So, yeah, it's not very hot. Anyways, did I mention that we're starting with indie decks? We're starting with indie decks. There's only a couple. So there's this one. And then this other one, I found out about from one of my viewers. I don't know anything about this, but it's called the Emotions Oracle. So I think it's like a mashup of elements and emotions. It says it's a first edition, and it says story cards, tarot and oracle, meditation cards. Okay, so I added this to the list partly because I'm confused why it's calling itself an oracle, because everything I can find on this seems to indicate that there is a full major arcana and full minor arcana. But when I look through the details of this, nothing in here actually says how many cards are included. So it's not completely clear, but I feel like you can see in this picture here, there's like a major arcana, air, fire, earth, water? Cups. Yeah, cups, pentacles, which are skulls, apparently, wands, and swords. I don't understand. And there's not a lot here in the way of pictures, but it looks like it's sort of photo, I want to say it's like photo digital collage, maybe? I don't know. This one confuses me, but I think it's interesting, and I hadn't heard about it from anywhere else, so I wanted to show it to you guys so you could do your own looking on it. But it looks interesting. I don't think this is one that I'm immediately tempted by. I would definitely want to hear from more people and see more cards before I were to scoop something like this up. But at the time I'm filming, which is about like 3 or 4 days before this video goes up, it is on sale for $55. I think that seems like a normal, like a standard-ish indie deck price, the $55. So I don't know. I don't have much about this because I just don't know, but I'm confused why it calls itself an oracle if it's following the tarot system. And it does say here, I keep scrolling, I'm so sorry. It does say here somewhere about Rider-Waite-Smith. I saw that when I added this link. Let's just see. Yeah, it says it's a collage style deck that follows the simple flow of the Rider-Waite system. So it's a tarot. Maybe it's a tarot that can also be used as an oracle. I don't know. And it's from somebody whose website is the Tarot Tavern. So I feel like, why, is there a reason we're not calling it a tarot? I'm nervous because I'm like, does that mean that something has significantly changed? Is that why it's not called a tarot? Is it that the oracle term is just more comprehensive? I have questions. I have a lot of questions, but I don't have answers. So that's where I'm sitting with that. Getting into mass market, I'm excited about this. So this, I had heard nothing about. Again, I feel like I'm very out of the loop, and thank goodness for y'all who watch my channel, because y'all are who send me the links for what to cover in this hot takes, which is the only reason I know about half of this stuff, I swear. So somehow I completely missed that Stephen Bright was working on a cartomancy or playing card deck called the Inner Eye Oracle. And maybe it's the Nellie's deck situation, but I'm a little bit intrigued. And I've always been, well, it's not just that. I've always been a little bit intrigued also because Danny of Danny Mystic, as you know, is way into playing card, like cartomancy like that. It just, anytime I hear somebody talking about this, whether it's Kelly at The Truth and Story or Danny, I'm very intrigued by learning a playing card system. See, this is like legit. Oh, and there's a keyword in every card. Oh, I might have to buy this. I might have to buy this because it's, you pull the card and it actually, it has, I'm assuming this is the Cartomantic Association. Is this like traditional playing card cartomancy that has the keyword? And then the guidebook entry, I want to know more. I need another page example. Okay, so this is, I want this. You know what? I'm always intrigued by anything Stephen Bright does. I think it's just, I really appreciate his perspective on the tarot in general. And I don't yet have like a Stephen Bright deck that is like a go-to for me. I've been tempted by other things he's done. I was really tempted by Spirit Within for a long time. I still haven't picked it up. I really should. You know what I'm going to do? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to add this. Oh, I don't want to pre-order it. Okay, right. Let's talk about the pre-order information. I very rarely pre-order mass market decks. I wait for them to come out and then I just buy them. But I do want to add it to my list, which I can't do now. So I'll have to pin this because I'm not logged into my account. But I think what I'm going to do is probably, I'm distracting myself. Can you tell? I think what I'm going to do is add this to my cart and maybe just finally get off my butt and get Spirit Within. I feel like I want Spirit Within. I need to just do it because I've been like off and on about it for literal years now. And I feel like that's one of those decks that if I don't get a copy in my hands to play with and work with, and it goes out of print, I'm going to be super sad. Maybe we should just double check that it's still in print. You know what? We're going to sideline for a minute. I'm going to pin this tab so that I remember to put that in my cart later. I have a list of decks that I'm interested in. Oops, let me just do this. Yeah. I have a list of decks that I like keep an eye out for. Spirit Within Tarot. Oh, I should have added the tarot on the end. I try to make sure it's actually still in print so that I'm not like being dumb here. Okay, it is. So I'm going to also tab this. I will keep you guys posted because I feel like I really need that finally. And it would be fun to get that in and work with the Cartomancy deck and maybe play with them together. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being slap happy with the tarot purchasing. I don't know. But I really, really want that Cartomancy deck. And again, I feel like having that layer of learning the cartomantic meanings And it might help me while I'm waiting for the Nelly's deck to come in. Plus, it's mass market. And like, yeah, anyways. It looks great. I love the keywords. I love that it's got a good guidebook. It looks like I'm in. Okay, anyways, next. The law of positivism. Okay, this word, every time, so somebody suggested this to me, I put it on my list, but every time I tried to type this, I could not type it correctly. There's something about that word that feels so awkward to me. Positivism. Positivism. I feel like, why not positivity? I feel like that's an easier word to understand. Is this even a word? It's got to be a word. Search Google. No, it's in there. It's in the dictionary. A philosophical system that holds that every rationally justifiable assertion can be scientifically verified or is capable of logical or mathematical proof, and that therefore rejects metaphysics and theism. Okay, wait. Are they using this term correctly in an oracle deck? Wait. Definition 2, the theory that laws are to be understood as social rules, valid because they are enacted by authority or derived logically from existing decisions, and that ideal or moral considerations, i.e. that, or e.g. that a rule is unjust, should not limit the scope or operation of the law. Okay, now I'm super curious. What does it say here? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's just read what this says and tell me if that jives with what I just said the definition, according to the online Google dictionary, was of positivism. So this person says, from the author of the law of positivism, that's such an awkward word, comes a beautiful, energetically inspiring oracle deck to help you work with the philosophy of raising a collective vibration through positivity, self-love, and gratitude. I don't think those two things are the same thing. Now I want to know. Okay, hold on. We're going to go to Merriam-Webster. Okay, let's just do this. What is positivism? Positivity, this makes sense, but what is positivism? What is a theory that theology and metaphysics are earlier imperfect modes of knowledge and that positive knowledge is based on natural phenomena. This does not match up. Basically, if I understand this definition correctly, what it's really saying is that positivism is the theory that only things that can be verified empirically are basically valid and true. In which case, this essential, what feels more like a law of attraction through positivity, self-love, and gratitude is not based on that same theory. I think the word's being used incorrectly, and I could totally be wrong. Please, somebody enlighten me in the comments. Maybe it's just me. I feel like I'm being very sassy about words. Maybe it's just because words are very much on my mind. I'm writing right now. I've been doing a lot of writing, words and definitions, and I've been like using a dictionary multiple times a day. So maybe that's why, that's right where my brain went, but that bothers me mildly now that I know. I feel like if this had literally said the law of positivity healing oracle, I haven't even looked at the cards yet, y'all. I am sassy, and we are only 3 decks in. So let's just take a look at some images. Okay, I like these. These are pretty. I follow the cycles of my body. I am the master of my mind. My mind is clear as a still lake. I like that. That's pretty. I release negative thoughts about myself and my life. With my thoughts, I co-create with the universe. This is beautiful. As I rest in the sacred womb, I heal. I have an energetic body and the power to transform myself and my life. So all of this looks gorgeous. I'm just sassy about the name. I think I'm sassy about the name. But, I mean, I shouldn't say I think. I clearly am sassy about the name. Let's look at some more images. But the images are really beautiful. I don't know the creator or the artist from any other works. Nothing's jumping out at me. But this looks really beautiful. I feel like this would pair with a lot of things that we see in today's like tarot and oracle market. So I feel like if you wanted to pair something with like a star tarot or a moonchild oracle, moonchild oracle. I feel like if you wanted to pair this with something that you have in your collection that has a similar aesthetic, this looks really lovely. Is this a Hay House? This is a Hay House deck. Hay House, oh, it says Hay House UK. That's interesting. So yeah, maybe check it out. It's due out on May 30th and it's $22.99 US. I didn't say that about the prior deck. I'm sorry, but I've already closed my tab, so we're moving on. Oh no, I haven't. The Inner Eye Oracle is $24.99 and is due out on May 28th. That was the only ones we've covered so far, right? Yes, I think so. Okay, let me get out of the positivism thing. We need to talk about the Rosebud Tarot. So this is really exciting. This was a independent deck. I believe it was on Kickstarter, or maybe it was just independently published. And this is a really cool collage deck. I looked at a physical copy of this when I was in Portland at Dawn's place. I looked at a physical copy. I still don't think I'm being tipped over the edge to want to buy this. But when I see this like merry-go-round in the wheel, I really kind of want it. I feel like there must have been something in here that threw me off. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so it's the black and white images collaged with color. Like the black and white central figures collaged with color that I think throws me for a loop. But I really like these keyword changes. So the Fool, or the title changes for the majors. The Fool becomes the youth. The Hierophant becomes the professor. Judgment becomes emergence. The Hanged Man becomes the hang up, which I love. Swords are shears. Cups is a watering can. Wait, the Suit of Waters is watering can. But it says the titles on there are just water. And Earth, oh, maybe it's just that, oh, that's the symbol they're using. So they're calling it the Ten of Water, but you're going to see watering can. In this sword suit, they're going to call it the Curiosity, for example, of Air, which I'm assuming is the Page of Air, but it's going to be, the symbol on the card is going to be of shears. I see. And then Earth is going to be pots. Fire is going to be staff. Okay. I feel like maybe I didn't spend enough time with this when I was at Dawn's, and I don't know. I don't know who's publishing this, because that might change how I feel. I need to remember to scroll slowly so I don't make y'all dizzy. I'm sorry. I'm a very fast scroller. It drives Peggy bananas when we're looking at something together. She's like, can you please calm down? Like, why are you scrolling so fast? Wiser Books. Okay. I've got pretty good confidence in Wiser Books. So we will see. Do I need to add this to my list too? Y'all, I'm not doing a good job. Okay, I'm not going to buy it right away, but I think I definitely need to like take some time and watch a leisurely walkthrough of this and then decide, because I think my quick glance at like my quick flip through of Dawn's copy didn't sell me on it, but some of these choices seem really smart to me. So now I'm conflicted. We're gonna tab that. Y'all, I am not, if Peggy watches this, I'm in so much trouble. I'm like pinning everything. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Creative Consciousness Healing. Oh, there's not very many images here. Okay, we'll see. A 44 card Oracle deck and guidebook for self-healing and self-care. This one's due out on June 6th and is $24.99 US. It says look inside. Now, sometimes when I've done this, I've gotten to see other cards. Oh, I can hear. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. Okay, this art style is really adorable. Yeah, I am not good with the self-control today, apparently. Okay, so anyways, composting, decomposing energetic chords. I freaking love this image and the theme and the key phrase. Moonshroom, healing old brain patterns. Y'all, this sounds like it's right in line with the kind of like trauma healing, reparenting, attachment style healing shit that I'm constantly working on. This sounds like right up my alley. Grounding, rooting in the power of your purpose. Soft breeze, allowing flow and ease. I really freaking like this. Breathe, healing with your breath. What is happening today? Nourish, feeding the sweet animal of your body. I love that so much. It looks like she's sitting there with a cup of tea. This art style is charming. Are we going to get to see all the cards? Purple Diamond. We're already on card 7. Manifesting your dreams. See, this is exactly what I mean. This is why I don't want a card that just says Purple Diamond, because that would mean nothing to me. But it says here, manifesting your dreams. And I'm like, oh, that's what this card's about. Great. Nurture, giving yourself love, care, and encouragement. Water, experiencing the healing power of water. Rainbow Boundary, protecting your true self. This seems like such a great deck for healing and self-worth work. Belonging, healing, and community. Oh my God, look at these figures. This art style is the sweetest. Moon Belly, healing your gut. Oh my gosh. Wild Energy, focusing your creative power. Ice Boundary, emergency energetic boundary. Okay, so that's a difference. There's multiple types of boundaries. Hello? Okay, so Rainbow Boundary is about protecting your true self, and Ice Boundary, emergency energetic boundary. This is exactly the kind of thing I talk about when I talk about empath boundaries. It's like, boom, nope, I'm going to protect my energy. Oh, I love this. Bountiful, healing a scarcity mindset. This is body connection, reclaiming the power of your body. Yo, this is so good. Light cleanse, clearing stuck energy. Pink, we're just going to keep going for as long as this freaking thing will let us look. Pink Honeymoon, soothing hurt and inflammation. So there's a bit of like, it feels like somatic or body work, like physical healing combined with energetic, like emotional healing, resetting your nervous system with hot and cold. This makes me wonder if there's practices in the guidebook about this. Self-trust, building safety with yourself. This is so good. Pink Lion, protecting little you. Look at this. I was just talking about reparenting. This is Allow accepting all parts of you. That's very much like a shadowy, like shadow work, like bringing things in, integrating them. Violet flame, burning away what's no longer needed. Self-soothing, creating safety and calm. We're already on card 25. I feel like they're letting us see a lot of cards in this preview. Moon path, taking the next right step. This is really great. I love this. Boundary cloak, gentle, loving protection. So we've seen 3 different kinds of boundaries, which is intense and wonderful, and I'm here for it. Moon pebbles, challenging yourself with compassion. Clarity, seeing and feeling the truth. Moon money. Yo, does this go all the way? Okay, I said we were going to go through all of them, but like, there's so many. Focus, past self, forgiveness, wait, what does it say about forgiveness? Forgiving yourself at a cellular level. I love that so much. Okay, deep sleep, higher self, true voice. I think, you guys, I think that you can see the entire deck in the preview screen. Receiving, opening self to worthiness, future self, simplify, geode, transforming addictive thinking, pink bees, integrating your healing. I feel like there's some potent visualizations with just the way these are titled and the way the artwork is. It feels like these are like little simple visualizations you could use in actual healing work, this is exciting to me. Pink seeds, growth under the surface. Mushroom touch, decomposing shame. And those must be the backings. How many cards was that? 44, right? Yeah, that was all. You can see all of the cards. So if you go to the Amazon link, you can literally scroll through, take your time and look at every single card. You guys, okay, y'all, if creators, publishers start doing this so that we can look at all the cards in the look inside feature, that would be amazing, because that's awesome. Who is publishing this? Andrews McMeel. Okay, so it's not Hay House. No shade to Hay House. It's just that I haven't been loving their cardstock lately. And Andrews McMeel, I don't know if I like it or not, but this is another one I have to pin. My track record is not good right now. This is not supposed to be a shop with me or whatever. This is supposed to be me being like, talking myself through this stuff and not necessarily buying everything. Okay, so next up we have the Healing Spirits Oracle. This is an upcoming release. This is a Hay House. But this artwork, this is by Gordon Smith. This artwork, it reminds me, it's very painterly. It reminds me a little bit of Siliconway, her art style. It also reminds me a little bit of Rasuli. It's got this like vivid color painter quality that is very like flowy. Like flowy? Do you know what I mean when I do flowy? Like that's what it makes me think of. I don't know a lot about Gordon Smith or the theme of this deck, but okay, that was a control home. That was not me just scrolling. I'm sorry. Very, very fast. Let's take a look at some of the artwork. Is that what the titles are going to look like? Because they seem very... See what I mean about the painterly quality? I'm interrupting myself. But like the titles seem very like plain on this background, but at the same time they do pop. So like that's fine. I really love when you can tell that a card has been painted. Like you can see the paint strokes. You can see the paint strokes. This is beautiful. This all tapped into a tree. It's time to move forward. These are really gorgeous. I'm adding so many things to my list. I think I'm going to hold off on adding this to my list though, because I've got 4 things already tabbed and I need to have some self-control, but this is really pretty. And I also know that I'm not always fond of Hay House's cardstock, which means that a Hay House deck for me could just end up sitting because I don't like the cardstock. So, and maybe they'll change it up soon enough. We'll see. But that's the Healing Spirits Oracle, due out on June 6th, currently at $22.99 US. I sent a link to this immediately to Dawn because this is a role-playing game tarot deck, RPG tarot deck. Can we just for a second notice how the world card, or the Wheel of Fortune, excuse me, is a 20-sided die. That's amazing. This is, it just looks fun to me. So here is the Hermit, and the subtitle is Invisibility. So I feel like this is tying in. Yeah, the Star is downtime. 2 of Wands is scrying. Ace of Cups is a flash of inspiration. Queen of Swords is reasoned judgment. 8 of Pentacles is artifice. The Font of Wisdom. The High Priestess is the Font of Wisdom. So yeah, so there is upright and reverse keywords and meanings plus RPG, role-playing game keywords, that you could use to kind of connect it in with gaming, I'm guessing. I think I saw something that indicated, let's just see here, that this actually is going to have some gaming stuff in it. Let's see. It's the perfect deck for your daily divination or to use as an in-game tool for idea generation, in-game readings, randomized events, and more. Here we go. Included with the deck is a guidebook which explains how to use the deck for divination or gameplay and provides definitions and explanations for each card. So if it does like connect the idea of the deck with roleplay, like with gameplay, with role-playing gameplay, that would be really cool. I think this is really cool for people that are into gaming, and I'm just kind of excited. I don't know enough about, like, I've enjoyed playing role-playing games, but I'm not like a total RPG nerd entirely, so I don't know that I would completely head over heels for this, but I think it's really cool. Y'all know I'm just getting this. Like, this is just a given for me. The Seasons of the Witch, Maven Oracle, it's due out June 12th. Maven is in the fall, so like late summer, early fall. So I am definitely collecting all of the Seasons of the Witch decks as they come out. There's no question. I'm all in now. I already got 3 of them. I want one for every Sabbath. And what I've been doing with I'm working currently with the Beltane one because we're kind of in that season, right? And what I've been doing is pulling a single card from that every day to just kind of be that sort of like altar card kind of thing, to kind of hold an energy, a focal point for myself. And it's been a really lovely practice. And I love that I can flow with that seasonal energy. And I'm just waiting until I can flow from one Sabbath to the next seamlessly. That's going to be a really beautiful practice. And I'm here for it. These cannot come out fast enough for me. Now, with that said, that's my personal take on the fact that I'm getting it regardless. But let's take a look at some images because I'm loving this sort of color palette of this. This is obviously feeling like fall. This feels like September to me, which is perfect, honestly. What does it say here about some of the themes? Maven themes and areas of focus: agriculture, ancestral healing, balance and transitions, concentration, endings and mourning, goals and accomplishment, gratitude, grounding, healing and self-care, planning and preparation, sharing and wisdom. So these are going to be the themes of these decks, or of this deck, the Maven themed one. I'm stoked, honestly. I have no, I guess I don't have very hot takes on this. I'm in. The last mass market deck that we're covering is the Magical Self-Care Tarot, which includes 70 cards, 64-page book. This is due out June 13th. This is one, okay, this box design, I feel a little bit like unnerved because I'm like, this every single time a deck that has been in this box design has come out, it's had sneaky pips. And what I mean by sneaky pips is that everything on the box materials, everything in the promo images, everything that you can look at publicly before you actually physically buy the deck and bring it home indicates nothing about the fact that it's pips. But then when you get the deck home and you like get into it, the minor arcana are pips. And that irritates me. Like, just show us your pips. Show us you're going to have pips. I just totally quoted Danny Mystic's t-shirt, but whatever. And case in point, we have on the box a Chariot card and a Magician card. A Magician card and a Chariot card. The Moon, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So court cards typically would not be pips. There's no card image on this Amazon page that would tell you if there are pips or not. And yeah, that's it. I have feelings about it. So I will never pre-order one of these because I want to know if you're pips. And maybe that's unfair of me, but like, I have the thing that irritates me about it, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The thing that irritates me about it is that a lot of us really like pip decks. I have several pip decks that I enjoy, but show me up front you're going to be a pip deck so that people can make an educated and informed purchasing decision when the deck marketing materials do not show us one way or another what a, say, 5 of Swords is going to look like, or a 3 of Cups or whatever. If it doesn't show us that, then I can't make an informed purchasing decision, and that annoys me personally. But I would assume, given the history of this box design, probably the publisher that puts these out, who is this? Seco Books. But I've had Seco Books decks that I like. I know I have. But anyways, this particular box design seems to be always pips. So just heads up. But y'all know I do want to learn more about the Self-Care Tarot. Does this guidebook entry. Okay, there's a self-care message. I like that. So it gives you a little bit of advice for self-care that you can work with. That's my hot take. I'm moving on now. It's time to talk about crowdfunded decks. Now, most of these are Kickstarter, but I do have at least one Indiegogo deck in the list. So we're going to go through these. The first deck we're going to talk about is the Aurora Tarot by Cocarina. Now, Cocarina had, I think it was called So I just looked it up. Yes, it was just called the Divine Feminine Tarot. And it was in the same style. Now this one is very pretty. It's got a lot of blue mixed in with just the gold on black that the Divine Feminine Tarot was. It looks lovely. If you want to get in on the Kickstarter for this, you have until Saturday, May 20th at 12:45 p.m. Pacific time. Let's take a look at some more images. I do like the blue in here. It's really beautiful. It just gives a different vibe for sure. Now, the main reason I didn't end up jiving with the Divine Feminine Tarot over a longer period of time is it just felt like I worked with it a bunch and it was so lovely, but it just felt like it was too outside of my day-to-day reality. Like it felt too, maybe it was too set in space. There was something about all the characters. Oh, look at the unicorn and the chariot card. Oh, listen to me. That's a really beautiful card. But there was something about the sort of I don't know how to, this like sort of perfected spirit body situation. I don't know how to describe it. Look at the witch hat. That's pretty. It's beautiful, but I don't think I'm tempted by it in this particular moment. I do really love the blue. It just really, that combination of cool and warm tone with the blue and the gold is just, it's lovely. I could just look at this all day. It's really pretty. I just don't, this is not a deck. I feel like I would appreciate looking at this. Like it's pretty, but I don't think it'd be one that I'd be energetically called to work with. Oh, look at these miners. See, this is what I mean. The pips are beautiful. These are gorgeous Marseille style pips. They're stunning. And I can see them, so I can decide. I think that's really gorgeous. I don't believe the Divine Feminine was pippish like this. This is really pretty. Oh, what? Look at this book. It's hardcover. What? Well, I don't need this. I don't need this. So I'm not going to get it, but I'm going to appreciate it from afar because it is really, really lovely. It's really lovely. And Cocorina's artwork. I get their newsletter and she puts out like information for the moons. And I genuinely love everything she does. I don't need this. I'm going to pass on it, but it's really beautiful. Now, a lot of y'all were real excited about the Tarot Arcanae? How do you say this? Arcanae? I'm really bad, really bad with words. Anyways, this is the Earth Tarot. So this is by the creator, Taylor Hultquist Todd, who also did the Ocean Arcanum Tarot, so the water one. Now there's an Earth one, and apparently they want to also do a fire and air deck as well. So this is the earthly version. And people were really excited about this. I think they're excited about the idea of having an earth, air, fire, and water all by the same creator, which I think is a really cool concept. And I think it's neat that Taylor's doing that. I had the ocean one and I didn't end up jiving with it because the artwork, the style of art that this is, I don't know if you can tell here, but there's a lot of texture in the shading. And by nature of Taylor's art style, that does make the art feel a little darker, or I don't want to say heavier because it doesn't feel heavy, but it's more, there's more ink on the page. Like there's more outliney style ink, which just gives the image a overall darker tone than the kinds of things that I tend to be more drawn to. So this actually in color tone reminds me a lot of the Northern Animal Tarot, just in the sense that it's got that darker feel, like not dark as in shadowy, but just darker as in less bright. Like, you know, which I think really works for an earthy deck. It's clear though that there is creatures of air and creatures of sea in the earth deck. So I would be curious. Look at that's for the altar cloth. I was going to say look at the backings, but that's the altar cloth. So of course, within this earthy deck, there are still the elements. So you have, here's the Royal Court for the wands, camel, pangolin, javelin, and African dog. That's cool. And then for the cups, you have panther, silverback gorilla, poodoo. I've never heard of that before, but it's cute. And a giant anteater. For pentacles, you have star-nosed mole, bandicoot, arctic hare, and naked mole rat, which is so wrinkly and adorable. I can't even. And then for swords, you have fruit bat, terapus, or flying fox. Those two both look very much like bats. Oh, they're all types of bats, kind of? Yeah, vampire bat and then Honduran white bat. They're all types of bats. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Now, I believe that this was already on Kickstarter. I don't remember if I covered it before or not, but it had a really high goal. And Taylor's projects have tended to have very high goals in the Kickstarter, but then it didn't meet the funding goal, so Taylor relaunched it. It's at a lower goal. It's already met its goal. And at the time I'm filming this, you have a few more days to back this. You have until Monday, May 22nd at just shy of 10 a.m. Pacific time. So check that out if you're interested. Oh my God, so this next one is literally called Gothic Fantasy Drag Tarot Deck, a Gothic ode to the art of drag. That's awesome. It's already met its goal. You have until Tuesday, May 23rd at 8:20 to back this. The Gothic thing, not necessarily my aesthetic, totally fine, but I think this is so fun. Look at this. Is this a full tarot? Magician. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can zoom out here a bit. The Empress. Sorry if you can hear traffic. The Lovers. The windows are open. It's been very, very warm today. Loud traffic. The Hanged One. The Wheel. Okay, I want to see. Are there minors? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The Devil. The Hanged One. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Does it say? 22 cards. It's a majors only, but it's super cool. 300 GSM Casino. It is linen, but that is going to feel thin. Now, linen cardstock is typically not much thicker than 310, maybe 330. It's rare to have it much thicker than that. You want it to be bendy if it's linen, but that's going to feel thin for some of you. And especially at a 3-inch by 5-inch card, that's big. That's bigger than tarot. Not hugely bigger than tarot, but noticeably bigger. And bigger cards are more flexible, so I think this is going to feel thin. Now, a linen casino style cardstock is still going to hold up pretty well, I think, typically, but just be aware. It's probably going to feel kind of thin. So if you're used to something that feels thicker, that's something to just know. But anyways, not my aesthetic, but I think it's cool. It'd be fun to see something like this in a full tarot. Do I need this? I feel like this is what I keep going back and forth about. This is the Stardust Wanderer Tarot. Let's zoom it in a bit. This is basically like Space Pirates. It hasn't met its goal yet. It's only got 11 days left to go. Okay, this looks absolutely breathtaking. I'm surprised it's not at its goal. I feel like so many people would be all over Space Pirates, fantasy, sci-fi meets. I just think this is gorgeous, but I've seen it before. I've kind of been going back and forth on it. I think it's a stunning fantasy deck. Very much feels like Space Pirates. Oh, it literally says, enter this magical world of space pirates, gods, and goddesses as we follow the story of Mina, our fool in the deck, but she is also our brave adventurer about to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Oh no. Y'all know I'm a sucker for this stuff. These 78 cards feature a universe where gods and goddesses rule and space pirates roam, deciding on the way if they are paying attention to those rules. The commoners live on the planets in this system, leaving the space pirate life behind. They live and coexist with both the pirates and gods and goddesses peacefully. Mina finds herself right in the middle of the divide, helps bring balance to the world, and finds herself in the process. Yo, this is very much on my alley. The fun and sometimes obnoxious characters we meet through the 78 cards will guide you to the answers you seek in a fun and profound way. This is really beautiful. Is this a collab deck or is it all the same artist? Oh, regarding the deck's name, I'm also a huge Bowie fan, and Ziggy Stardust is another out-of-this-world character I loved, so that's a considerable influence. I don't know anything about David Bowie. I'm very sorry to everybody who's sad now. I just don't know. I've never been a Bowie person. I got nothing on the Bowie stuff, but that is how it came to be. It still just looks like a Space Pirate Tarot to me. Oh, look at this card back that will be gold foil if they actually unlock the stretch goal. And they're not even to their regular goal yet. I feel like they should be. Look at how pretty this is. This is so vibrant and like on theme. Oh, the moon is mooning us. There's a little mooning action in the moon. Where are our minors? Here we go. And there's videos to look at every minor. Look at this. Look at the space pirate situation. This is so fun. This is so fun. Chalices. This is beautiful too. Look at the gem tones in this deck. Why is this not at its funding goal? I feel like I have seen things meet meet their funding goal that are not this gorgeous, but it's all subjective, as we know. So it looks like the earthly suit is still in process, but it's coin based, which makes a lot of sense for space pirates, of course, and very earthy. Looks to me, okay, let's see, what is the specs? This is what we need to know if you are a geek like me. 350 GSM cardstock with a UV matte finish, anti-scratch. Now, here's what I've discovered about UV matte. There's the matte that's kind of like buttery and silky feeling. Then there's the matte that's like rose petal finishy. The UV matte is, in my experience, usually the matte that's really nice and like smooth. Like it doesn't clump or catch. It's a lovely finish. A lot of people really love the UV matte finish. Just saying. Doesn't say anything about the core. That's fine. Gold foil finish card backs. Standard tarot size. Full color clamshell magnetic closure box. You know, this needs to have, oh, it's that kind of box. And look, it looks like it opens up all the way. I know this is such a silly thing, but I really love when the box like opens up and like opens up, like, you know, opens all the way. Like it doesn't just catch. It like unfolds like a little mat almost. I love that. That's one of my favorite types of boxes. That's really pretty. They've got all these stretch goals, but they're not at their main goal yet. Why though? Okay, how much time? Hold on. I'm going to do a fast scroll. Brace yourself. Okay. There are 11 days to go when I'm filming it. You have until Thursday, May 25th at 8:11 a.m. It's marked as a project we love on Kickstarter. The creator is Jen Sankey, who is a name I totally know. That's amazing. Congrats, Jen. Yeah. This should be funded. It should be funded, in my opinion. The goal is like high, but I feel like for the quality that's being presented and the art level of artwork, I just feel like this should be funded. So if you're into space pirates, I'm clicking the remind me button because I'm probably going to back this. I really want this. Wait, what is the pricing like? Maybe that's why nobody's backing it. Like, nobody. I say that's why nobody's backing it. Plenty of people have backed it. 247 people have backed it. It's doing fine, but we'd like to see it meet its goal. And I'm just wondering, is the price really high? No, seems pretty normal. Guidebook and tarot is 60 US, which I feel like is like right where indie decks kind of sit right now. And then there's a double deck, so you could buddy up with a friend. What does it work out to be per deck if you double up? So you save a couple bucks per deck. And then yeah, it's pretty basic. It's just like however many decks you want to back for. So it's about 60 bucks US. Looks like Canada shipping is about 22, which is pretty average. 9 domestic, 26 shipping. Looks like it's well within the reasonable range of what we expect, I think, for those rates. I see no red flags, but maybe I'm missing them. I would be curious. I don't know why this isn't fully funded. I feel like this is one that should be just blowing up. It just looks really beautiful. That's my opinion. That's my hot take. I feel like it should be blowing up, which is not to say that you should run out and back it if it is not your thing. If it is your thing, you should check it out. I'm not trying to encourage you to just go willy-nilly go back things. I'm just personally surprised because I just feel like this is such a fun theme and something that would speak to so many people who are into fun themes for their tarot. So I'm surprised it's not blowing up, but I'm probably going to end up backing it. Like, that's how that's going to go. I'm going to pin this. Continuing the trend. All right, next up we have the Rooted Remembrance Tarot. So this has also not met its goal yet, but it also still has some days. You have until Thursday, May 25th. And it is an oracle for rooting into knowing and finding your way back to magic within. This art reminds me a lot of sort of like, again, that digital collage layered kind of dreamy effect. This feels like it'd be a really good dream deck, actually. Full Major Arcana, then we have Roots, which looks to be an earthly suit. Then we have Light, which could be like an air suit, perhaps, or Spirit, maybe a fire suit. We have Shadow. Oh, interesting. That could be Swordsy. And Dreams, which looks watery. It's really pretty. This is not something I'm immediately drawn to because I do have the Moonchild and I may have finally caved and ordered the Shadow Moonchild also. So I will have 2 Moonchilds. I don't need another deck that sort of sits in this space for me right now, but this is really lovely. It's not that I'm not tempted because I definitely am. I'm worried I couldn't have too many things in this space because this is not an art style that I typically think to grab for. And I love my Tarot of Mystical Moments, which is much more, not abstract, but it's much more, much less realism in the Tarot of Mystical Moments than this. This is really, really gorgeous. But I feel like when I think of this kind of deck, I think about the Moonchild, I think about my Tarot of Mystical Moments. Those are the two places my brain goes. So I'm worried if I had too many things in this category that they wouldn't get reached for, used as much. So I think I'm not as tempted as I could be because of that. So let's just take a look. Did I already say how long you have to back it? I think I did. How much does this cost? So this one is sitting at, again, $60 US. Again, I think that's a pretty fair average price right now with the current costs. And this is supposed to be on 400 GSM cardstock with matte finish and gold edging. Looks pretty. It looks pretty, and the gold is really reasonable, especially for those specs. 400 GSM is quite thick, or could be quite stiff, so that's something to be aware of if you have small hands, or if you find thicker cardstock harder to shuffle, but this looks really beautiful. I backed this. I backed this because okay, hold on. I have my Starseeker Oracle, like, right here, and this is such a beautiful deck, and I should have hesitated more than I did to back this, honestly, because I don't reach for the Starseeker as much as I should. It's beautiful. It's so pretty. But I love this. I love the art style. I think it's really gorgeous. I love the energy of the creator. I just think this is a really great deck. And I couldn't pass up having an Oracle to match up with it. And I really, when I saw this, I looked at the keywords on the cards and I was like, open to receive, portal, grounding. These are great keywords. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So I did it. I can't pass up a matchy-matchy Oracle to a tarot that I have and do enjoy. So, and I want to use the Starseeker Tarot more than I do. And I feel this is such a terrible, this is not life advice. Okay. This is not the solution to not using something a lot is to get something else to encourage you to use it. Like, that's not good life advice. Don't do as I do. Okay, but I just feel like I know me and my practice, and I know that having an Oracle deck to match will have me wanting to play with this more. Again, not necessarily a recommended method for dealing with that. There's other ways you can like pull something out and bond with it and get to know it rather than buying something to go with it. But my matchy heart wants it to, I want to play with the matching Oracle. I'm a sucker for a matching Oracle. I want a matching Oracle for the deck I'm creating. I'm a sucker for it. I like it. I wanted it, so I backed it. But I could probably show you some more images. Look at it though. I really enjoy this art style. There's something about this that just, I really love it. Look at this amends card. This really got my heart when I saw this. And there's a good number of cards. Let's see, what was it? That's to 48. Look, there's an inner child card that looks like you're looking through a window, like at your little self at the beach. It's lovely. It's very well thought out. 64. Yeah, I think there's 64 cards. Let's fast scroll again. Oh, wait. Cardstock, same size as the Starseeker deck. It is a 350 GSM paper with a luxe semi-matte finish with a slight... So this is going to have a slightly drier touch than the Starseeker Tarot, which has more of that like smooth rose petal feel. It sounds like the Oracle will have a little more slip. Will still be matte, but will probably have less of that sticky and clumping issue that the soft touch can sometimes have. Although I find the Starseeker, I haven't used it a ton, so it's somewhat broken in. But I do feel like it's pretty good already at like not being super clumpy and whatever. So I think it's fine, but this will be nice too. Same sort of matte lavender edges that we've come to appreciate about the Starseeker Tarot. This looks really lovely. I'm excited about it. I backed it. That's my hot take. Okay, so let's talk about the Victorian Fairy Tarot. This is very well funded. As some of you all know, this has been out of print for a long time. This was a Linnea Weatherstone deck. I actually didn't know that. I got to know Linnea Weatherstone's work with the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. I did not know that Linnea was the creator of the Victorian Fairy Tarot, but that's very exciting. This is a partnership, or it looks like a collaboration with Gary Lippincott and Carrie Paris. It says with Carrie Paris. I don't know entirely what that means, but all I know is that this has been out of print for a long time. I've seen some people here on TarotTube talking about this deck. This is not something that I felt like I would have ever been tempted by from a like out of print perspective. Like, I don't think even a little bit, but it's really sweet. It feels like it takes you right into that storybook kind of world. It's very much like these Victorian settings, a Victorian setting, but literally make it fairy. Like Victorians, but make it fairy. And there's something really sweet and kind of Grimm's fairy tale about this that I find really enchanting. I don't know ultimately if me and this deck will get along, but I'm so curious and I really, really want a chance to see it in person. And I think an independent quality version of this deck could be really lovely to work with. There's something soft, again, and very storybook about it that just really like draws me in. But yeah. I don't know how much of that is because of hearing people rave about it while it's been out of print, because so many people really like sought after this deck. I know so many of you are going to be so excited that this is funding. Fast scroll. Right now, though, you have until Wednesday, May 31st at midnight. So 12 a.m. Pacific time. So that's probably Tuesday night. You have to back it. So Tuesday, May 30th, right up until the very end of the day, you have to back the Victorian Fairy Tarot. Okay, y'all already know how I feel about the Familiar's Way Tarot Oracle and Shadow Work set. I have a whole video up on my channel going over the entire thing. I will link that up in the cards. Please let this be the spot where the cards are. Is this where the cards are going to be? I think so. I think the cards are going to be up here, but I will link it up in the cards so you can check it out. There's also a really great two-part walkthrough and exploration by Kelly at The Truth and Stories, so go check those out as well if you're interested in those. To get her take on it too, she comes at it from a much more, she works with a lot more animal decks than I do, so she might have more feedback on that part of it. I really enjoyed her walkthroughs on this also. In short, I think this is a very well thought out set, and I'm really excited that it's doing so well. I know that Jillian has some great stretch goals planned, so keep an eye on the campaign if this one has grabbed your attention. I've seen a lot of people commenting that this reminds them of the Lightseer's Tarot. I do not see that in this at all. To me, the Lightseer's Tarot feels a lot more interpersonal, like more grounded in social connection, whereas I feel like the Familiar's Way is very much about the bond between human and sort of animal spirit energy. I feel like that's kind of where it sits, is in this like very much animal familiar, like having this bond with your own animal familiars and building that relationship. That feels very much what this is about, whereas Lightseers to me feels very like social. This feels more like having your own relationship with sort of spirit or the universe in that way, through the sort of lens of animal guides. That's how I view the Familiar's Way. I can see, I guess, some of the comparison artistically maybe, but I don't see this. This does not look like Seers to me at all. They feel like very different things. But again, I'm looking at it through the lens of, I think, the energetic purpose of the deck and not so much maybe just the art style. Maybe the art style is reminiscent of Lightseers, but I don't see that in it at all. But that's just my take for that particular piece of feedback that I've been seeing bouncing around. I just think this really stands alone as a very interesting human animal spirit or animal guide or animal familiar relationship tool. I think that's really cool. So if that's something that intrigues you, it's worth checking out. There's also a really interesting and intriguing part of this set that involves a shadow work workbook with an accompanying deck. And I think I would probably frame it that way from hearing Jillian and I have sat and chatted about this project for quite a while. And I would say that my take on hearing her talk about this is that it's very much more almost like the shadow piece of it feels to me like it's workbook with guided practices, and the cards are an assist to the workbook. The other two decks, the Tarot and the Oracle, feel like they are decks with workbooks, or excuse me, the Tarot and Oracle feel like they are decks with an accompanying guidebook to sort of help you build a relationship with those decks. With the shadow work set that comes in this 3-piece set, I feel like it's a shadow work practice and workbook with cards that hit it. So it's like the book is, to me, feels like it's probably going to be the highlight of the shadow work set. But that being said, the cards that come with that are very evocative. When I first saw these, I was like, oh, it's like scribbles. But like when you look at it, you're like, oh, that feels like how you would draw, how you would illustrate that feeling, especially if you were coming at it from a purely emotional space or internal space and not so much from trying to make anything look a particular way. I thought they were a very evocative little set, but what excites me about this is that there's very specific practices that the workbook is going to take people through. And that's what excited me the most, probably about the entire set, to be honest, is this shadow work, the idea of a guided shadow work practice. I think that's something that a lot of us struggle with, is how to find that sort of guided practice, to know what you're doing with shadow work to some degree, to have something that can kind of hold your hand. That's the part that really excites me. But I love how the Tarot and Oracle work together. I think the art style is really lovely. It's pretty. It's pretty. It looks really comprehensive. I'm excited about it. I'm talking way more than I should for something I've already covered in an entire video, so I'm going to move on now. I'm just excited to see it doing so well. I know that there's a lot of heart and soul in this, and if you only knew just how kind and lovely and gentle Jillian is, I don't know, I just feel like those, I'm biased, clearly. I think she's got lovely energy. So I know that everything she creates has that lovely energy and it just feels a particular way. So, you know, keep my bias in mind, I suppose. But if it resonates, check it out. You've still got until June 1st at 11:59 p.m. to back this. Okay, so I was told about this when I was prepping for hot takes. A couple people actually mentioned this literary fairies. I don't think I would have found out about this in any other way. This is really a unique project and really intriguing to me personally, and more than just what it appears to be, I guess you would say. So this is actually a fairy deck, like oracle deck, but also there's a lore book, there's coloring books, there's all these different parts and pieces to this campaign. And the art is so cute. It's very, again, very storybook. Look at this. It's very vibrant and colorful. This reminds me a little bit of the kind of fae, but more, like, I feel like it's a more fun version of like Brian Froud's style or of the Tarot of the She. Like, it's got that wildness and that kind of otherworldliness, but it feels colorful and yeah, it's sort of, and the literary piece, from what I can tell, it looks to me like this is basically, each card is kind of themed around a type of literature. So for example, I know there was an example on here somewhere where it's like this card is themed after Gothic romance, or this theme is, this one is themed after, like this one says sophisticated something, sophisticated horror, I think, for this Lubitiana. But each one has like the name of the fairy creature or character, and then underneath that, the sort of type of book that they're modeled after. So here we have Rena Moonstone, and I can just barely make out that it says that this one is modeled after witchcraft books. But then underneath that, it says that the keywords for this card are tradition, spells, and magic. So you get the name of the creature, so you can kind of build that relationship with it, which is kind of cool. Then you get like the literary association, and then you get 2 to 3 keywords, it looks like. I think 3 on every single one I can see here. I think that's great. It's being printed on 310 GSM black core cardstock. Black core is the highest end core you can get for cards. So those are usually pretty good. And 310 GSM is going to feel a little bit thin and bendy, but with the black core, it's probably going to hold up pretty decently. It looks like you have an option to get a tin. Otherwise, it's probably going to come just in a bag. I think that's how it works. I would encourage you to at least take a peek at it if you're curious about it. It's a little on the thin side with only 40 oracle cards. And then there's options to get the like paperback lore book, and then you can get coloring books, and it's like a whole thing. But I think it's really fun, and I'm definitely keeping my eyes on it. I don't think I've hit the save me button yet, but I'm going to save it for now and just keep my eyes on it. I don't think it's enough cards for me to snap up right this minute. That would be my personal hesitation, but it's real cute, and I might change my mind, so no promises. I totally backed this. Y'all, this is not a very good dissuading video. If you're looking for a dissuading video, this is probably not the one. I saw this or something like this a very long time ago on Instagram and was so excited about it. I mentioned earlier in this video that I am a total word nerd. Like, I'm a total word nerd. I do a lot of work with quotes, with definitions, with keywords, with meanings of words. I really love words. I really love language. And you probably wouldn't know that by my very limited vocabulary here sometimes. But I love words. And this is essentially a 111 card deck all about words. It's like you get a word, and it's very much almost like a dictionary definition where you get like different meanings for each word. So for example, here, the example cards here are obscure. So it says, it literally gives different definitions: to make indistinct, to conceal or hide by or as if by covering, relatively unknown, not readily understood. I'm paraphrasing. Not clearly seen, shrouded in or hidden by darkness. So you get several different meanings. And the beautiful thing about this is that you're really just working with words and their meanings. So you can use it as a layer, as a clarifier, as an oracle. It's kind of almost like bibliomancy with a dictionary, by which I should pause and just say, you could totally do this with a dictionary and bibliomancy. You do not need a deck of cards to do this practice. But I like cards. I just aesthetically like playing with cards. I enjoy cards. Cards are fun. Cards are fun. So I'm going to use the crap out of this deck. I just know that I will. So there seem to be some like different colorations, like gradients of color that you'll see throughout the deck. There's some like blue, purple, turquoise coloration. There's some yellow, green, light blue. There's like a red, orange. It's 111 cards. Doesn't say anything about the card stock. Ooh, the box looks nice. Let's see what it says about... Doesn't say anything about card stock or GSM. Ah, there we go. 350 GSM art paper. So non-cord cardstock art paper. It says durable but easily shuffled. At 350 GSM, art paper actually holds up pretty decently. In my experience, it varies depending on where it's made, but I've had some beautiful decks that have no core that are just wonderful. So I'm not going to prejudge it on that, but whenever it says art paper, I'm always like just a little side eye. Like, how's it going to actually be? I won't know till I get it, but 111 cards is that's going to be a chunker. And 350 GSM, 111 cards is going to feel like a lot of cards. That it almost, I feel like, should have gone 330 GSM with maybe with a better core or something, so that you could, I don't know, I feel like that could be really chunky. Could be really chunky. But like, this is the kind of thing I don't think you need a guidebook. Is there a guidebook? I don't think so. I don't think you would need a guidebook for this. I don't see any reference to one. 2-piece rigid box, holographic silver gilded edges, matte UV. Again, we're going to have that smoother matte finish, so that's exciting. I backed it. I can't wait. You have until June 1st at 5 a.m. Pacific to back it. Let's see what the pricing was. I don't remember. Excuse me? I was going to say, is there early bird available? I got early bird, y'all. I was on this so fast. Let's see what it actually is. Oh, totally reasonable. $50 US. For 111 cards, that's great. You're not going to get the most perfect quality at that price probably, but you're going to have a decent quality deck. And for 111 cards, that's good. That's really good. And there's no guidebooks. That's probably also why they were able to bring the price down a little bit from what we've been seeing. Is like standard is usually 55 to 60 US for indie, it seems like. So no guidebook probably helps on that point. But anyways, I'm really excited about this, and I'm talking for a million hours, and editing me is going to be sad later, so I'm going to try to move on now. Okay, next you have, this is on Indiegogo, the New Voice Tarot. So this has a flexible goal. There's still 22 days left, so you have quite a bit of time to back it still. Now, the New Voice Tarot, this is by the same creator of the New Choice Marseille that has gotten a ton of screen time, I feel like, on TarotTube, just for being a really beautiful, modern, pretty queer Marseille deck. And now the same creator Rosario has come out with the New Voice Tarot, which is a Rider-Waite Smith in the same kind of premise. But the New Choice Tarot de Marseille, I heard, had lovely production quality. I don't know if this is going to be the same, though. But you can see it's very much, I teased a lot about the New Choice Tarot because it always felt very sort of He-Man She-Ra to me a little bit. And I see that here in the Queen of Swords. I'm still getting those vibes. There's a little bit of the hard body aesthetic that sort of comes through in this art style. But it is fun. Yeah, see, it just feels very much like superhero land to me. I think it's really neat. Oh, see, look, it is an open up. Oh no, this is the New Choice Tarot. So this was in an open up style. They all open up. This was in a magnetic style box. Does Rosario say anything here about the box? Let's just see. Oh no, okay. It says shiny holographic box with a magnetized flip side opening. Aha! Images presented here are just a rendering, so not accurate. So it is planned to be, it looks like a similar style box to the New Choice Marseille Tarot. So I would keep your eyes on this. It's on Indiegogo, so it could easily go overlooked if you don't hear about it somewhere. So I'm hoping some of you will check this out because it looks really nice. I don't think I'm going to scoop it up, but it is, look at the backs. I mean, it's kind of tempting. But the He-Man She-Ra thing, I don't know. There's something about that hard body. It's so fun, though. It's very urban-y. It feels like queer culture to me. It's fun, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to pin this. I got to rein it in somewhere, y'all. The next deck we're going to be talking about is the Liminality Oracle by Amelia Leonards. This is actually in partnership somehow with Celia Melville. So Celia Melville Studio. So I think Celia Melville is publishing this somehow or working with the artist to publish it, which is exciting. So she's got the Kickstarter campaign. Amelia is the artist of the deck. It's 49 cards, 350 GSM card stock. It says there's going to be some gilding on the back of the cards. I'm assuming that means foiling. And this is a Fae deck. It's really lovely. It's 40 cards, 49 cards. That's pretty decent. I usually, once it gets to about 44 plus, I'm usually pretty happy. But I prefer more. I prefer 60 plus, if I'm being honest. This, I feel like, reminds me a lot, a lot of Stephanie Pumin-Law's style, like the Shadowscapes Tarot. It reminds me a lot, and I feel like something like this would actually pair really beautifully with the Shadowscapes Tarot. I'm guessing that the titles are in both English and French. It looks like to me. Yeah, I feel like this would match really nicely with the Shadowscapes Tarot. Low-key kind of tempted to pick it up just for that reason, but I don't. It would look so pretty next to Shadowscapes. That is not what we're doing today, though. I need to, like I said, I need to pair it in somewhere. If this is catching your eye, though, you have until Tuesday, June 6th at 10:50 p.m. Pacific to back this. Look at the Everybody's Oracle. So this is by the same creator that did the Creatures Tarot and Oracle. It has to have a unicorn image in the title. Like, is it trying to torture me? Maybe. So we got this like kind of cool, smushy, like playful character vibe here with the cards. I like keywords. And here we have the potato, which to me looks very clearly like a couch potato. The unicorn, beauty, and hope. So beauty, kind of. Hope definitely feels like a keyword, but potato, unicorn, not so much. So I'm very picky about this. This is a me thing. This is totally like a me problem. Your mileage may vary. How many cards are here? 50. So nice, good number. Bright colors. If you enjoyed the aesthetics of the Creature Tarot, Creature Oracle, this looks like a fun, is that an axolotl? I just said axolotl. That's an axolotl. And I don't know what the card says. It literally just says the axolotl. Okay. But that's my thing. I want to see keywords. But this looks really fun and vibrant and playful. That's cute. How long do you have to back it? Wednesday, June 7th at 4 p.m. Get on it. Several of you pointed out this one. This is the Solara Occulta Meliora Tarot. This is by the same creator that did the Solara Occulto and the red one that I forget the name of. The red-pink version. Similar style. Both of those other ones I think are out of print. This is the new one, Solara Occulta Meliora. It is a quirky art style that feels kind of fun and sketchy. A little bit limited in the color palette, if I recall. Yeah, so here's the Solara. That looks like the Solara Occulto. Is this the same but like a different... Is this like the same but a different colorway? I think it is because I'm pretty sure that's the same Three of Cups as in prior editions. So I think it might just be a new coloration of the same deck. Please feel free to enlighten us in the comments down below if you know anything about this, because that's what it's feeling like to me. So if you are drawn to those and they have been out of print, this looks like it's the new version of that. Maybe? Again, please correct me down below because I don't know enough about this, but I wasn't really drawn to those others. Yeah, that's definitely the same Three of Cups. I don't know if anything else is the same. I just feel like I definitely recognize the Three of Cups. And after that, I'm a little lost because I've never held a copy of this deck in my hand, so I can't speak to it like specifically. Yeah, Crimson Hysteria. That's the name of the red one. Crimson Hysteria Tarot. Anyways, that is currently funding, and you have until Thursday, June 8th at 1:59 p.m. Excuse me, 1:59 a.m. Pacific time. So really, end of the day, Wednesday, June 7th. You want to probably have backed this. And last but not least, we have the Journey Tarot deck for empaths and intuitives. It says the Journey deck is designed to be read using universally experienced emotions as a foundation for interpretation. 30 days to go, so quite a bit of time still. You have until Tuesday, June 13th at 9:28. This is by Tegan Michael Turner. Acolyte of Water, Insightful, Earth of Water. It says, within the subconscious deep are details that we wish to keep, emotions that begin to seep during our beloved sleep, ideas glow beyond the cove, above where the acolyte dove, new connections tightly wove, becomes an insight treasure trove. It's a little poem. Are they all like that? Are they all like that? Yep. The book has descriptions for each of the major arcana cards, with information on their archetypes and a poem for each of the minor arcana. And then 3 keywords: intuition, perception, and sensibility. I really like the art. Why is Kickstarter doing this to me? This is so rude. 7 of Cups. 3 of Fire, I think. 6 of Earth. 5 of Air. This is really lovely. Again, with this sort of storybook quality, I'm really feeling that in a lot of the decks that we've been going over today. So much storybook. It's killing me, y'all. It's killing me. I'm going to hold myself back from this one, but it's lovely. I don't have a lot of feedback. It's really pretty. All right. So, I have pinned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to review. I'm probably not going to buy all 6 of those things, but I'm definitely going to take a look at them closer up. I also backed several things I talked about. This is not a very good dissuadey video. I'm so sorry. For those of you who come here to be dissuaded, this is not a good one. It's just, these are my impressions. These are the things that I'm thinking when I'm looking at these decks. You get what you get here in my hot takes. But I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while we went through all of this new upcoming stuff. All of the decks we covered today are currently pre-ordering or funding or whatnot. So don't feel like you have to be in a mad rush. You've got some time left for the Kickstarters. Don't forget that with Kickstarter, a lot of times, as long as the project is funded, there will be an option to pick that item up later. You don't have to give in to sort of the crunch of time that Kickstarter sort of throws out there for you. Don't feel like it's always all or nothing. There have been projects where once they've funded in Kickstarter, they're done and they're over and there hasn't been any future decks, but in my experience, that's been more rare. You might pay a few extra dollars to wait, but if waiting means that you'll make a more mindful decision, that's a valid option. So please remind yourself that it's okay to wait, that it's okay to not just grab your hands like I often do at every single thing. It is helpful to sort of bring it back. And that's one of the reasons why I've pinned these tabs for the decks that I was curious about, so I can really think about it, take my time, maybe watch some walkthroughs of anything that's already out, like the Spirit Within Tarot I'm thinking of, and just kind of remind myself about those things, think about it in a more mindful, conscious way, and then make my decision. So I really recommend you do that. At the time that I am recording this, it looks like I've been recording for a crazy long time, so hopefully I'll be able to cut out some of this in editing. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out with me for another movie length video. I appreciate that so much. I always appreciate you hanging out with me. Thank you so much for spending this time. Your time is your most valuable resource, and so I'm always deeply honored when you choose to spend that here with me. Don't forget that I do have a channel membership where we do even more fun things behind the scenes. I call it the Unicorn Fam because I myself am a unicorn and I just like to spread the unicorn love. We have supportive unicorn tier, magical unicorn tier, and badass unicorn tier. Each one of those tiers we do different kinds of things, but even at the lowest level we do some fun stuff like book clubs, occasional movie watch parties. We just do fun things over there. All the tiers are super fun. I'll invite you to check on the join link if you want to take a look at that and see if that has anything to offer you that you might be interested in. I like having that separate space just to have a place to sort of play with in a smaller group. It's really fun to have sort of that more intimate space. It's something that you kind of lose with YouTube over time, and I'm really grateful to have that space. So thank you as always to all of my members. I really deeply appreciate all of you. Thank you all so much for watching, and until the next one, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!